Hi there, I'm Mrs. Pritchett and I teach Regents Geometry. Welcome to Open House. We're having a good year this year. Everybody's learning and I love my classes. They're doing a great job. So I want to walk you through a couple of things that the kids already know how to do, and I want to make sure that you feel comfortable at least following them on some things here. So if we have a day that they're remote because of illness or whatever, or the whole school goes remote, what they can do is click on this waffle up here and they go to Google Classroom. I've got to move my picture. I embedded it in there so that you could see me and not just a screen. Google Classroom. And then they would see all the different courses that they're in. And here you see the courses that I teach. So one of the things we do for any Regents class is they have a lab every other day that goes with the Regents class. And mostly we do like algebra work that they should know, but need like a reminder on how to do before we end up having to use it in the regular geometry class. So this is like every other day. And then let's go to their everyday geometry Regents class. So when they open up their class, they're in Stream. And in Stream, I have certain things that are always here for them that I put in. So for instance, this Bitmoji classroom, I've created like an avatar of myself just so they can see. And I have different things here that they can click on. So for instance, the letter is my email. So they can click on this and they can get a quick link. You can see right here to my email so they don't have to go through the school's website. Also, if they click on this Google Classroom cheat sheet, they get a link to how to do a whole bunch of things in Google Classroom if they forget how to do it. Once again, I have the graphing calculator here that they can click on and get a link, and then the math reference sheet. So that's one of the things that's always there in Stream. And then also I have a second calculator link. It's the same one, but if for some reason they lose one, they can click on this again and launch the TI-84 graphing calculator. And then one thing for the parents I have in here, I have my attendance policy and my grading policy for the class, and a little description of what the class is for. But as you can see, my grading policy, anything that's assessment like tests and quizzes, all get put into one category, and it's 85% of their grade. Homework and classwork, I don't pick up and grade. It's like if they've done the notes, they get a check mark. If they did their homework, they get a check mark. And then that way there's a little cushion in case they don't do well on something, but also I know that they're trying and they're taking the notes and they're doing their homework to the best of their ability. I don't want to grade it when it's the first thing that or first time that they're applying what they've learned. And then the Regents exam is written by the state of New York. And then also down here, I have my attendance policy, which basically it's the school attendance policy. If they're absent a day, they have a day to make up the work. If they're absent 2 days, they have 2 days to make up the work. Now, this year it's a little bit different because if they're home and let's say they're sick or they have to be tested for COVID or something like that, but they're not too sick to join Google Meets, they just can't come to school, then they can join remotely and get credit for their work. And then they're not behind, which is really important in math. And plus, they get a remote attendance credit. So it's like they're here as long as they're in the Google Meet for the whole time that I'm running the class. So that's very important and new this year. And let's see what else. And then down below, we have in case something happens like technology wise, I put in if they can't submit something to me, how to take a screenshot of what's on your screen and then just email that to me. So that's an alternative for them. So what they mainly use is up here in this tab, the middle one, classwork. And we just did our remote learning day, so I'll use this to demonstrate. But there's a title for everything that we're doing, which is like a category of topics. So remote day, when they click on the item, the first thing that comes up, they see that what class they're in and the day that it is, and then they see any instructions that I give them. So normally there wouldn't be this many items in here that they would be looking at, but I wanted to test all the different things that I use in case we have to go to remote, and that's what the remote practice day was for. But normally, whatever topic we have, I'm teaching it in the classroom, so they would see it on the screen because I would be projecting that to them, whether in class or at home. But I also either make a video or find a video that teaches the topic the same way I do, and they could always open it up and click on it. So if they have a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment and they don't want to be behind in geometry, they could just come back to the classroom and watch the video. And this is what it would look like. I made this one myself, and they would just play it. All right, it's already Wednesday, and we're still doing Pythagorean theorem. Now, this is very quick. It's only one slide to go through because all you're doing is the same skill that we've been doing for 2 days. So they would watch that video, and then whatever I assigned them to do, so then they would close out. And whatever I assign them to do, there's different things, like depending on the form that I either write something in or find a topic on. It may be something through problematic, like this. And I just did an example. This is like a kindergarten one, but of multiple choice. So they would click on whatever they were choosing for multiple choice. And then they would click submit, and it sends it right to the problematic website for me. If it's not problematic and I'm doing something like in notes or a worksheet type of thing and not an assessment, then they would click on the worksheet and it comes up. This is another kindergarten one, just so we could practice something today. And they would open it in Kami. Takes a minute. Okay, this one's already scribbled on because I was showing them. If you need to write something, like you could write your name using the draw tool, or just for numbers or whatever. You also have a text box. So if you're in English, or let me pick a different color, or math, like if I was filling in which fruit did the kids like the most? That would probably be the orange. So they can type in, and that's good for a lot of different subjects. And then they need to save like their work that they did. So they could, one way to save that would be to download it to the Google Drive. They save with annotations. That means they're writing that they have on there. And then they would begin the export. And the more graphics it has on it, the longer it takes. So, of course, the geometry, they'd have to wait a minute because we do a lot of graphic stuff in geometry with all the shapes and diagrams and everything like that. So these are all things I've saved, but it would save it. Here it is, right to their Google Drive. And then they could click on that right there. And then down here, but mine's covered up somewhere under there, they would do insert, and they could send it to me and through Google Classroom. Let me close out of all of this. So that's basically how I run my class this year, since we have to do all the remote stuff for people that are at home. But it sort of is helpful because then if somebody is absent for just a day or two, they can keep up with the work by joining Google Classroom, and they all know how to do that already. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to give me an email. And I hope you have a nice day. Thank you.